Hey y'all, thank you for tuning in. This right here is the 2024 Missouri Tigers football preview. Man, if you were a Missouri Tigers football fan or Missouri Tiger fan in general, you had to be very pleased with how you guys did last year. A team that overachieved big time. You got a lot more out of Brady Cook than I think you thought you were going to get. Then you had a great receiving core, and you had a really good running back in Cody Schrader, who emerged at like a D3 school, and he put up over 1,600 yards and just had a great year, and had a defense that was very good too, and overperformed as well. But Missouri Tigers had a great 2023 team, and they bring back a lot of players from that team to this team. So if you're a Missouri Tigers football fan, you've got a lot to look forward to. So this team last year was a top 30 offense. They're bringing back Brady Cook, who had over 3,300 total yards throwing last year. He played big in a lot of key moments, brought him back in a couple games to win. Luther Burden, this guy is a receiver who had over 1,200 total yards last year receiving. So those guys are back, and that's huge. You also return Theo Weiss. This guy almost had 700 yards receiving, and you got Mookie Cooper coming back. He had over 400 yards receiving last year. So Brady Cook is going to have three really solid receivers to throw the football to this year. Now, like I say, they are going to lose Cody Schrader. That's a big piece that you're missing. But I still think as a whole, you guys are going to be better offensively this year than you were last year. So offensively, Missouri is going to be looking really, really good. You do lose Javon Foster as well. But as a whole, I still think you guys are going to be better. Defensively, you're bringing in Corey Batoon from South Alabama. He boasted a top 15 defense with South Alabama last year, so this guy obviously knows what he's doing. And Missouri is going to be losing a lot of good playmakers. They had two DBs last year that got drafted in the NFL, so those guys were very competent, good football players. Then you lose Darius Robinson, who was a first-team All-SEC player at the defensive end position. He had 8.5 sacks. He had 43 tackles, so that guy was a stud. But you are bringing some key pieces back. A lot of guys that got a lot of playing time last year and know what they're doing. You got Johnny Walker, who had 5 sacks last year, Christian Williams, who had 10 tackles, and then you got a pair of linebackers in Chuck Hicks and Tristan Newsome, who had both around 27 tackles last year. So defensively, you guys are going to be still very solid. Maybe not as good, but you're going to still be a very solid team, in my opinion. Probably around, I don't know. If I had to guess, you'll probably be 6th to 8th in the SEC in total defense, in my opinion, which is still very solid. Now, the thing that you have to be excited about as a Missouri Tiger football fan is this schedule, and it really sets up nicely for you guys. The out-of-conference schedule is very easy, very manageable. You open the season at home against Murray State. That's a game in which basically Missouri could probably pick the score in that game. That's going to be an easy win. You play Buffalo week 2. Like I said again, Buffalo is a MAC school, which sometimes those MAC schools are kind of sneaky and can kind of give you a game, but they're not going to give Missouri any kind of game in this one. Missouri's too good. So you're going to be 2-0. So this season starts off nicely. You got some cream puffs that you get to play and kind of, get the rust out and put up some points. Then you got Boston College in Game 3 coming to Missouri. This is going to be a game that Missouri is going to get some revenge. Boston College beat Missouri a couple of years ago at Boston College in overtime, but these are two dramatically different teams this year. Missouri's much, much better than Boston College. Boston College is a middle-of-the-road ACC team, and Missouri is, in my opinion, Missouri is probably a top 4 SEC football team. This is at home, and Missouri is going to spank Boston College, and you're going to be 3-0. And now the schedule gets even easier. You have the worst team in the SEC coming to Missouri and Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt has played Missouri over the last couple of years very tough, very competitively, but no, Vanderbilt has no chance of beating Missouri. So you're going to be 4-0. To start this 2024 football season, and now you have an open date, and you got to go to College Station. You got to play Texas A&M. Now, I think A&M is going to be a better team this year. I think that Elko coming in from Duke is a better coach than Jimbo Fisher. Jimbo Fisher has acquired a lot of talent over the last several years. So A&M is still a very talented team. I think they're going to be better coached, and I think a lot of teams are going to overlook them, and I think A&M is going to upset a lot of teams. But I don't think they beat Missouri. I think Missouri wins this game, and here's one key reason why. You're going to be off the open date, so you're going to have time to get prepared for A&M. And Missouri is returning an experienced ball team, and I just don't see A&M scoring enough points to beat Missouri in this game. Plus, it's a 12 o'clock kickoff. It's going to be an early kickoff, which is going to be huge for Missouri. So I have Missouri winning that game. I got you guys beating A&M and going 5-0. Now you play UMass in Game 6 of this season. UMass obviously is going to be a win. This out-of-conference schedule is very, very soft, and the only thing about it is it's going to hurt you guys maybe at the end of the year in the overall rankings. But I know playing in the SEC is tough, and that schedule alone is tough playing in the SEC. But this out-of-conference schedule is very, very soft. But anyway, I got you guys going 6-0 after you beat UMass. Then you play Auburn at home. Now, Auburn is going to be a pretty good football team. Almost every team in the SEC, even some of your bad, as some people say some SEC teams are bad, but they really aren't, like Florida. People say Florida's bad, but really they're not that bad. It's just the schedule's that hard. And Auburn's kind of one of those teams. They're going to be struggling to make a bowl this year. They're going to win 6 or 7 games, I'd say. But the fact that you get to play Auburn at home, I think Hugh Freeze now, usually in year 2, he's dramatically better. But the problem with Hugh Freeze is he didn't go out and he did not get a proven quarterback in the portal. He needed to go out and get a stud in the portal, and he did not do that. I think he made a quote as saying that he was not going to pay that much money for a quarterback. And I think it's going to cost him this year. I really do. So I got you guys beating Auburn at home. I think that will be a competitive game, but I got you guys sitting at 7-0. And now for Game 8, you're going to go to Alabama, go to Tuscaloosa. No doubt, in my opinion, that's going to be at least a 3:30 game, night game. Tuscaloosa will be rocking. I think that's asking a little bit too much for you to win that game. I think Alabama is going to be kind of sitting there waiting on you. I've got Alabama beating you guys in that game. Game you could win. Missouri's good enough to really win any game, get to go in anywhere this year and win. That's how good Missouri is with the quarterback play and the playmakers you got on offense. But I got you guys at 7-1 after the Alabama loss. And now you go play Oklahoma at home. Let me backtrack. You got an open date, which is huge. You get to kind of regroup, kind of get to rest, and you get to get ready for Oklahoma. Gives you an extra week to get ready for Oklahoma. Oklahoma is a team who really struggled defensively last year, and I don't think they're going to be much better this year. And I just don't think that they can outscore Missouri, especially at Missouri. So I have Missouri winning that game. And now you guys are going to be 8-1 at that point. Now, you get to finish the season with 3 really easy games, in my opinion. You got to go to South Carolina. Now, South Carolina is never really listed as an easy game to win. As a Tennessee fan, I think I'll be the first to tell you that in 2016, we could have been in one of the Final Four teams, but we blew it by losing. But I think, honestly, Shane Beamer is in his last year. This year, I think by this point, he's going to kind of be like Billy Napier at the end of the year. I think the team is going to kind of give up on him, and the season is going to be in shambles. And I just think that you go into South Carolina in Game 10 and win, and you're going to be 9-1. And then you go to Mississippi State. Mississippi State is even worse than South Carolina is. They got a new head coach in there. Ever since the whole Mike Leach situation, I really feel sorry for Mississippi State fans, because you kind of had the way when he died, they kind of just had to appoint a head coach. They didn't have time to go out and have a coaching search at that time, and it really put the team behind the 8 ball. And it's going to be a while before Mississippi State is competitive again in football, in my opinion. And so even though it's at Mississippi State, I think Missouri goes in there and gets that win. Now you're 10-1. You finish the year at home against Arkansas, and Arkansas is just kind of like Florida. And they're just kind of like South Carolina. They've got a head coach who's a dead man walking. This is obviously going to be his last year, in my opinion, with Sam Pittman. They lose KJ Jefferson. They don't have Rocket Sanders. They did bring in Bobby Petrino to coach the offense. But listen, you can know all the X's and the O's, but if you don't have the Jimmies and the Joes, you're not going to win. And Arkansas don't have the Jimmies and the Joes, especially to be a team like Missouri with the playmakers of Luther Burden and Brady Cook and Theo Weiss. They just don't have the star power to get it done. So, Missouri, you guys are going to be 11-1. You're going to be in the college football playoff. And congratulations, because you're going to have a better overall record in the regular season than you did the year before. And the year before, you had a great, great year. So if you're a Missouri Tiger fan, congratulations. The 2024 season, in my opinion, is going to be an amazing season. So thank you guys for tuning in.